Ancelotti snubs Ibrox for Brazil. Gerrard's sensational return now accelerating at full speed. A £6.8 million rated centre-back on the verge of arriving, and yet another academy gem set to walk straight into the hands of Newcastle. All while Rangers scramble to steady the ship before Celtic tighten their grip even further. Well, just when you thought Rangers were about to make a proper statement, it looks like the Ancelotti dream is dead in the water. Davide Ancelotti, the son of the legendary Carlo, has turned his back on Rangers after being linked heavily with the Ibrox hot seat. He's now all but agreed to join his father's backroom staff with the Brazilian national team. He's decided he'd rather be an understudy in Rio than lead the charge in Govan. Can you believe it? The lad's been by his dad's side across Europe, Bayern, Napoli, Everton, and Real Madrid. And this was meant to be his chance to go solo, carve out his own name. Rangers even tabled a proposal, one that would have seen him step into the dugout at Ibrox and finally show what he could do on his own. But instead of grabbing the reins, he's chosen to hold the clipboard again. Not in Glasgow, in Brazil. That's not just a knockback, it's a clear message. And let's not pretend this doesn't sting. Bringing in Ancelotti would have been a real statement of ambition, a move to send shockwaves across the city and beyond. Now, it's back to the drawing board. Barry Ferguson doesn't look set to continue and the clock's ticking. Meanwhile, Celtic are sitting comfy, getting their ducks in a row, while we're still figuring out who's steering the ship. The big question is this: did Davide bottle the chance to prove himself at a real club, or was he right to hide behind daddy's coattails in Brazil? With Davide Ancelotti choosing beach football with Brazil, Rangers are now shifting gears and fast. The latest, a return for Steven Gerrard, is firmly on the cards. That's Steven Gerrard, the man who led us to 55, who ended the 10 in a row nonsense and made Celtic greet into their green scarves. And guess what? He's out of work and still speaks about Ibrox like it's sacred ground. According to former Manchester United scout Mick Brown, a man who's rubbed shoulders with Sir Alex himself, Gerrard remains very well regarded in Glasgow, and talks of his return are gathering serious momentum. He's already shown he can deliver. Unbeaten in the league, 102 points, swaggering into Europe like a man possessed. There's unfinished business here. He gave you belief, gave you identity, and for the first time in years, Celtic were rattled. Now, the board wants someone in sharpish. No time for a summer holiday. The new man has to be in place before the last ball is kicked this season. They want a full pre-season, a proper transfer window, and a squad built to hunt down that lot from the East End. Gerrard's name is right at the top of the list. He's available, he knows the club, he knows what it means. Barry Ferguson, a loyal servant, no question. But this spell has shown he's not the answer right now. It's too big, too soon, and there's no time for sentiment when Celtic are miles ahead. Also worth noting, Danny Roll from Sheffield Wednesday is another name being whispered behind closed doors. He's impressed in the Championship, but let's be honest, is that really the kind of appointment that gets the blood pumping? Here's where it gets spicy. Should Gerrard come back and risk tarnishing his legacy if it all goes wrong? Or should Rangers be looking for fresh ideas instead of reaching into the past? Here we go. Again, another name linked to Ibrox, but this one's more than just transfer gossip. This one's got teeth. Kevin Boma, 22, a Togolese centre-back playing in Portugal with Estoril and making serious waves. 28 appearances this season, a goal and multiple Team of the Week nods. Fast, aggressive, built like a defender who actually enjoys defending, the sort you want leading the charge when the heat's on. At Parkhead, Niels Koppens keeping tabs, and with Kevin Thelwell now in as sporting director, there's a clear message. Younger, smarter, and potentially more profitable signings. Boma ticks all those boxes. Estoril signed him for just £210,000 last year. Now, They're wanting between £6 and nearly £7 million. That's not a price rise. That's a rocket launch. But here's the thing. No bids yet. Not from Rangers, not from anyone. And with clubs like Union Berlin and Basel sniffing around, you wonder how long that silence lasts, especially after Boma's showing against Benfica. 8 recoveries, 3 tackles, 75% ground duels won. That's not potential. That's performance. Let's be honest. Our backline isn't exactly Fortress Ibrox right now. Balogun's got 1 foot in retirement. Proper hasn't convinced a soul. And we can't walk into another season with that fragility. Boma could be the calm, arts, and the chaos, composed on the ball, ruthless off it. But this is where the dream collides with reality. With the 49ers Enterprises takeover on the horizon and no permanent manager in place, are Rangers genuinely in a position to spend nearly £7 million on an unproven defender? Or is this just another glossy name floated to distract from the fact Celtic are walking through the league while we hesitate at the door? Would spending almost £7 million on Kevin Boma be a masterstroke of vision, or just another shiny mistake while Celtic keep dancing with our trophy? Another gem slipping through our fingers, and you've got to ask, when will Rangers finally learn? Oliver Goodbrand, maybe not a household name yet, but mark my words, the boy's got serious potential. And now, surprise, surprise, Newcastle United are circling like seagulls at a chip van. It's the Billy Gilmore situation all over again. You remember it? The lad barely had his laces tied before Chelsea were waving the big bucks, and off he went. And here we are years later, watching another talent being courted while we stand still. Now, Derek Ferguson said it plain. It's disappointing, but not surprising. And that's the brutal truth. For all the talk of rebuilding, of signings, of ambition under new ownership, what good is any of it if you can't even keep hold of the youth you've developed yourself? The harsh reality is this: clubs down south see more in our players than we do. They see promise, hunger, raw talent, and they act. And meanwhile, we seem to hold them back, keep them in the reserves, let them rot in the lowland league until their heads are turned and their agents are on the phone. It's about more than just money. It's about a pathway. It's about telling these boys, you're not just here to fill a squad list. You're going to play at Ibrox. You're part of the future. Because if we don't start doing that, we're not just going to lose a Goodbrand, we're going to lose the next McCoist, the next Cooper, the next legend before he even wears the strip properly. Here's what I want to know. Is it pure incompetence that Rangers keep losing young talent like this? Or is there something rotten in the way we treat our academy prospects? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.